What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Wedded Wednesdays with Pastor David Wright and Lady G. And listen, we got another great topic for you. A friend of mine is married, and he told me something, and I said, we got to talk about this. Should a husband eat leftovers? We got to talk about it because there are some people that say they will not eat leftovers.
My God, today. And we will continue to keep it nameless, but you have some friends.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say their name. They might be watching. I ain't gonna say
my
their name.
husband have some friends who we know, they have their wives. My wife got to cook me a fresh meal.
Every night.
Every night. What?
And you see, I didn't grow up like that. It's all in your upbringing as well. You know, when we grew up in the household in Brooklyn, whatever my mom cooked, that's what we ate. And we didn't just eat it that day, but we eat it the next day. We ate it until it was gone. And if you have a wife, if you have a spouse, and I'm not just gonna say a wife, because there might be some wives that won't eat leftovers from their husband. Sometimes it's the husband that's a cook.
Right.
If your spouse is slaving over a stove and an oven or a microwave or a George Foreman grill, it's not for you to say, all right, that was Monday. I want something fresh, a whole fresh meal on Tuesday, and you still got leftovers in the fridge? No, that shows that you're not grateful. After she done slaved over the stove, and you can start a whole nother big tidbit, a whole big thing in your marriage by not appreciating what she has already done. I'm gonna say this. Some men put that in the forefront of them. Look, we get married. I like this, I like that, and I don't eat no leftovers. And I know y'all. Some of y'all might be on here like that, but that can never be my testimony, because when you grew up kind of on the rough side of the mountain in the projects, leftovers was your best friend. Some stuff tastes better the next day anyway. So when you're saying you don't eat leftovers, I feel like that shows some kind of ungratefulness. That's just how I feel. Like if I was a cook and I was a chef, and matter of fact, when I do cook, when I make my spaghetti, and they don't eat it all, I feel bad. I feel upset. It makes me feel like, well, maybe they don't like what I'm cooking. Maybe they don't like, you know. I was trained that you eat even the leftovers for even 2 days. If I cook it on Monday and it's still there Wednesday, you eat that until it's gone. Because I won't cook nothing else until you ate them leftovers. Because then you eat leftovers, it proves that you are appreciative of the time that I put in that kitchen.
What time you put in the kitchen? If there's leftovers, if you cooked it, 9 times out of 10, they didn't like it.
Don't do that. You gonna like it. I make some of the best spaghetti you ever seen in your life. You put a little sugar in there, a little splash, and nobody makes it like me. I make my own sauce from scratch. I scratch the name of the jar it come in and I pour it out. That's as scratch as it gets. But either way, if there's leftovers, don't sit there and say, oh, I don't eat leftovers. I gotta have a fresh meal every night. Because that puts too much pressure on your spouse. That puts too much pressure to have a fresh cut meal every night for you. You better be grateful that somebody cooked you a meal. Talking about don't eat no leftovers. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You saying that because she don't eat when I cook my stuff, she won't eat it. Yeah, this thing done turned the tables on you today. She won't eat when I cook. The kids will eat and they'll dine, but she won't eat my cooking. And that's why I stopped.
I tried your spaghetti. The noodles was just a little bit too hard for me to digest. And when I'm eating spaghetti, I don't want to crunch my noodles.
You a lot. Ain't no crunchy noodles in my spaghetti. Ain't no crunchy noodles in my spaghetti. You talking about maybe if you warmed it up after it was sitting out for a while,
No.
it got crunchy in the microwave. I don't do no crunchy noodles. Don't
You
do that.
remember when we were living in Long Island?
You saying I made potato chip spaghetti?
Yeah, remember I wasn't feeling good, and you took the initiative. You said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get the stuff to make some spaghetti. You want to make sure that the kids,
Did the kids eat it?
The kids, I don't know. I was in the room because remember you served me that night. You brought
Yeah,
me,
I did.
Yeah, you served me. So I took a bite. I did just swirling, and I noticed that when I was swirling my spaghetti, the noodles they didn't go around the fork. They kept like going this.
That wasn't my spaghetti.
They were going that way. So
One of the kids did that.
I ate it, and I was like, oh boy. The noodles are.
You know good and well.
There are al dente. There are overly cooked pasta. There is al dente pasta, but this was crunchy.
I don't know what al dente, El Dorado, Chocolico. I don't know what that stuff means.
Well, your version was like Ruffles, like potato chips, like.
What you got to say about the people that say they won't eat leftovers?
Well, I just think at sometimes.
I'm sorry, what was it like?
It was like ruffled potato chips, like.
I ain't never made no spaghetti taste like no potato chips.
Yeah. But back to what you were asking me. I think you were asking me, what do I say about those people that refuse to eat leftovers?
Yes.
I don't have much to say about it. I just don't understand it. I know some may have their reservations towards why they don't do it. Maybe they grew up like that, or the mother or the parents, just something that they just didn't do in the household, which could play a part.
None of my friends in the projects I grew up in, 162 Colding Avenue.
But everybody don't.
None of them ever said we don't eat no leftovers. Matter of fact, it was so bad they would come get our leftovers.
I understand that, but everybody is not have that project experience. So you have to understand that. I'm just saying, maybe that's probably the reason why. If they have, if their mother or you have, their parents are cooking fresh meals every night, and if that's all they knew from toddlers on up to, young adults, if that's all they knew, then when they go out and they meet their, husbands or however, vice versa, they meet it, all they know is this has been embedded in them. It's embedded in them. So it's like it's just something that they don't.
No leftovers.
Right. Now you have to look at it. There are certain cases, but then you just got that selfish man. It's just like, I get married, and I don't care. Even if I ate so much leftovers coming up in my day and time, when I get married, and especially I'm gonna get me a wife that know how to cook, I want a fresh meal every night. I don't want to hear nothing. I need her to cook a fresh meal every night. I done gone through them times to where I'm eating leftovers and eating leftovers. Shucks, if I gotta keep eating leftovers, and what I need her for.
That's a lack of compassion, because
ignorance, I say.
You call it ignorance as well, because if you got a wife, even I don't care if she can cook or can't cook. If there's some leftover and she don't actually have to cook because there's still some left, but then you take what's left and throw it in the garbage and say, I want something fresh, that's not wise. That's foolish. It's borderline abusive.
Yeah,
offensive. And it's offensive. It's not right, because if you're expecting somebody to do that, slave over a stove every night, when there's still some left from the previous night, then you're not appreciative of what was already done. And you know,
selfish, and then and also
you gotta be careful
and then
with that.
that lets me know that you're not only selfish, but you're a wasteful person.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? That means the money that if you gave the wife money to do the grocery shopping, and she's doing the grocery shopping because as mothers and as wives, I don't know about anybody else, so I just talk about me because I know what I do. I'm going to the store and I'm putting together meals as I'm shopping, and I'm doing my meal planning for the week. So I'm like, okay, you know, and I thank God for my husband. Let me just stop right there. I really thank God for he's the most easy.
Tell him.
I mean, he's the most easy. He's so easy to please.
Talk about
I can put a tuna sandwich in the front of him with his favorite plain Ruffle potato chips. He's good. And it doesn't take much to please my man. Doesn't take much. But there are some men, some wives that may not.
Keep talking about me though.
You are everything, boo, and I just love that you are so easy. And even when I want to put a gourmet meal before you, it's just like, you know, you don't look at it no different from the tuna sandwich at some point in time. But I just thank God that I have a husband, and even when I'm not feeling my best or I'm not up to it, you know, cooking or whatever, it's you let no, it's okay, we'll grab something, or you know, it's some stuff in here, I'll just make a sandwich. You know, he don't, you know, come and just stress me out about food, about all of that. And I really thank God for you. You are so amazing in that.
And you know why I'm like that though? Because when I was growing up, my father, it's 5 boys in the house with my mother and father. He's like, you're gonna eat whatever's on this doggone table. Whatever it is, I don't care if it was Salisbury steak out the box, whatever it was, we gonna eat what's on that table. And if it ain't all gone, you're gonna eat it tomorrow. And we had to eat what was prepared for us. So having that attitude that you too good for leftovers, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You gotta
for leftovers. No.
That's not cool, because you have to look at it. When the woman of the house, the lady of the house, she's prepping and she's doing grocery shopping. This is where I wanted to go. And you wanted me to stroke you, but we got that out the way. But this is where I was going. When the woman, the lady of the house, she's going out and she's, you know, got her list and everything together. She's planning. So I can't even imagine the woman that has this spouse that she has to shop for seven different meals. But check this out. Well, me and the kids, I'm gonna plan this. Therefore, me and the kids we can eat off this for a couple of days, so we're good. But I just gotta put some meals together because I know he gonna want something fresh. So she gotta keep find creative ways to put a fresh meal ahead of him while she and the kids are still munching off of leftovers.
There's too much pressure on her.
That is so crazy and so unnecessary. And just,
so what do you do? How you do?
How I do? I put my at least when I do my grocery shopping, I structure out 3 meals. And out of those 3 meals, I'm going to make sure that there's enough left over
for the next day.
It stretches out. Therefore, the whole week we're set. We're set.
So whatever you cook Monday, is for Monday and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. The only things that don't last, we don't have leftovers with the kids, is tacos. I don't care how much stuff I make of it. They go through it. They're savages with stuff like that. So
we got a son named Jai. He eat backwards.
What?
He eat going in, coming out.
But like I was saying, that's how I do it. And if you're that
boy butt so big,
he's
got more crack than Harlem.
You can't help it, can you?
All right.
If that's you, please, try to work on that. And you have to realize, especially if your wife is a working woman, not just 9 to 5, but she can be a housewife, and she's tending. She has so many different caps and so many different responsibilities. You have to, at some point, say, you know what, I gotta, I see my wife is tired,
Yes.
and I think it's very, very unfair for her to have a meal. I have to put that much pressure on her to have a fresh meal before me every night. So try to work on yourself. Try to do something to make it easier on your significant other, because
Absolutely.
you don't realize it, and he or she may not even say much about it. All they're trying to do is trying to please you and make you happy, but you don't know how that's becoming draining and tired, and just very she or he can be so tired, but they understand that, look, I gotta make sure that my husband or my wife, she has what she needs, because what she gotta eat, and I already know that I can't go and warm up leftovers for her, because he or she is not going to eat it. So I'm tired, but I gotta make it happen. I think that's
It's very unfair. And eating leftovers, fellas, that ain't making you no less of a man. You still the man of the house.
But like you said before, let me tell y'all, there's some dishes that I just rather have the next day.
Yeah, it's good.
There's just some dishes that I would rather eat have a tuna sandwich, have that, and say, letting the food that I've made, let it sit for a day, and then I'll have that for dinner the next day.
I know sometimes Thanksgiving dinner is better the next day.
It is. Everything has got a chance to settle.
Right.
Seasonings are settled.
So there's nothing wrong with eating leftovers.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And it's easier for you and your spouse.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for your spouse, it's easy for you.
Yeah.
Because if she got to spend so much time making sure you got a fresh meal, that's less time that she can spend really catering to your loins.
Loins, tenderloins, pork loins, beef loins.
This has been another episode of Wedded Wednesday, and we thank you for tuning in. Listen, fellas, y'all can have them leftovers. Eat leftovers. It's good for you. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Look, you can catch us on YouTube, Rad Skies on YouTube, and you can also catch us on Instagram at Wedded Wednesday, and Facebook. You can catch us on Facebook. Every Wednesday, we're going to have an episode for you. We back, y'all.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for being patient with us, y'all.
Yes. And we love y'all.
We love you.
Peace out.